You see a little safe in the back. As it opens up, it snaps several tendrils. The room begins to undulate. You see a pulse over the entire spire, and then you see bodies pulling themselves off the floor.
We need to go, and we need to go now. There, thousands are coming, and I don't know how to stop them. We need to go.
Welcome back, everyone, to Roll for InitiaGive.
Hello.
Brought to you by our amazing sponsors, Cobalt Press. Today, we are doing our dead level best to raise money for Doctors Without Borders, and you can join us in that valiant endeavor. Oh, that's a callback to what we're playing.
Hey!
By following the link below. Please do that and give Doctors Without Borders every cent you have.
Yeah, literally all of it.
Empty your bank account.
Sell your belongings.
They're better off with it than you are.
Yeah.
Please be safe, though. Take care of yourself.
Don't be
too.
safe.
Don't be
your
safe.
dog. You don't need
If
it.
you fund Doctors Without Borders enough, then when you're dying of starvation because you've given away everything you have, they can save you. So just don't.
It's a cycle.
Do you even know where your kidneys are? Come on. You're not.
I definitely lost one of mine.
Need them.
Okay.
You know who could find that for you?
Doctors Without Borders.
I think you all have severely misunderstood what doctors do.
The borders of your body. They know what's up.
Yeah.
It's like an operation. They can just hate you anywhere. There's
Yeah.
no borders.
As long as they don't hit the sides, it's fine.
Forrest Valkai.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything?
No, that's it.
apparently.
Sell your firstborn children, support Doctors Without Borders. This is the official stance of the Roll for InitiaGive.
Excellent.
Come back, text over.
Flashing, sell your kids.
Sell your kids.
Sell your children.
Hyphen KP.
That's this. Listen to
that's how I
KP11
get
Studios, who
canceled.
wants you to sell your children.
We're off to a
I
great
like
start.
zoned
everyone.
out for like 2 seconds, and
Yeah.
what did I come back to?
Selling
Welcome
your
back,
children.
Welcome to the last day of filming. We're all very tired.
We're very loopy right now.
But thank you so much for tuning in and watching this show. If you like what we're doing, please do try to support our charitable endeavors because that's what we're here for, and it makes the world a better place. If you can't afford to do it yourself, then hit that share button and send it to somebody you might be able to as well.
As you can tell, we all hate each other and don't get along anymore. There's, as is the case in situations like this. Last session, our intrepid heroes were escaping the Tinker Forge Spire as it had been overrun by, I don't want to say swarms, but explosions of globules of life emanating from the Golden Staff Spire's biology labs. Strange mimicries in fungal extensions of things that are bipedal and hexapedal and octapedal and 12apedal. Yep.
Dodecapedal?
Dodecapedal.
Hey, look at me.
Hey.
Duty decapedal.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Duties were decked.
It's true.
Jesus Christ.
God dang it. I said
That's a
duty.
great way to start the show. It's a great session.
Tension is what's important in situations like these.
Yep.
There
And
were
it was-
so many fungus guys.
Yeah.
So many fungus guys.
Can I just say-
and they were not fun guys. They did try to kill us.
Hey, can I just say, I feel so empty right now without that
Without the-
magnificence.
Yeah,
here.
without the thing. Yeah.
The work of one Michael Corrie.
Thanks, Michael Corrie. Love you, buddy.
Erik Gude,
Props
and
to
Erik
Sister.
Gude.
And Erik Gude is the most beautiful man
And the
ever.
jessiest of Jerdaks.
Yeah, he's okay. If you missed last episode, you go back and watch that one because it had the coolest piece of terrain in a tabletop game ever.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Easily.
I dare you to find cooler. And if you do, we'll beat them next season.
Smash that like button.
So we find ourselves on the far side of a drawbridge, mewling hordes and gasping moans of creatures not of your kin are on the far side, and below you is a river of molten lava. Two dwarves look a bit shaken as they stand near the mechanism that lowers and raises the drawbridge.
So,
We are bathing in grain alcohol.
yeah. So,
You are, yep, that's right. Dr. Victor Vindica,
yeah.
as we closed out last session, had decided to order several vats of just the good stuff from the dwarven community.
stuff.
The good stuff.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
And the dwarves delivered wholeheartedly as several barrels of 1,000,000 proof were dropped off, and the party began cleansing themselves of any potential contaminants.
Yep. I'm gonna apologize with all the laughing and fun with how I'm gonna start this session right now. Just it's gonna be rough.
Are you going to do a lore dump about mushrooms?
No. But yeah, Victor is thoroughly cleaned, just head to toe, just drenched in alcohol. These are the only clothes you've ever seen him wear, and they're just saturated, and he's just scrubbed everything and then taken all of his tools and everything and scrubbed everything very carefully, and now he has packed his stuff up and he is just walking away and not just saying a word to anybody. He is going.
He didn't even drink any of it.
Yeah, I don't think he's in the mood right now.
I still have detect poison and disease activated. Does it look like he missed any spots, DM?
On him, no. He is meticulously saturated.
By the way, not a lot of people know how to properly wash your hands. There is a process that you've got to do. Backs, you got to get your fingernails into your palm, go this away, then between the fingers that away, get up on your wrists, make sure you thoroughly wash your hands, y'all, because so many people think that you just get them wet and look at a bottle of soap and it's done. It's like a 15-second process. Wash your hands.
Sing the
Sing the
happy
birthday.
birthday song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wash your hands. Hashtag wash your hands.
All right. I feel like does he explain this process to us?
Everybody roll me a d20 with your the thing that's +4.
Your cleanliness modifier.
+4.
Just +4 it?
Yeah.
Okay, 17.
Okay.
I don't know what the thing is in this case, but
That's your proficiency bonus. I just couldn't think of the word proficiency bonus
It's
for a moment.
+3.
Oh, plus
Are we
three.
level up?
You
we
are
did?
level 7.
did.
I think I managed to tell everybody but you.
No, you
Fine,
did
that's
tell
okay.
me, and then
You did,
I
and then
forgot.
I forgot.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did it last night. My proficiency bonus is still +3.
So is mine.
Yeah.
Oh man, you guys are terrible at this
Wizards,
game.
y'all.
Where's my?
No, it's
I'm gonna
honestly
lose
it's just your
skills
level. I think it goes up to 4 at like level 9.
Yeah,
Oh,
mine's
okay.
+3. Sorry.
I already knew.
I got
now
18.
Iron Man.
That's a dirty
18?
20 for
Dirty
me.
20. It's a clean 20 for you.
That's a 21.
21, very thoroughly cleansed you are.
I
17.
have-
17. You managed to, everybody.
Sorry,
looks-
16.
Oh, 16. 16 is good enough. With that, it takes a little bit longer, and you're able to point out, like, on the underside of your heel there's a, you want to get that. Azad, you've probably been cleaning for a while. Is it frustrating?
Yeah, it's like
you
it
do-
burns a little bit.
You have an Azad-sized barrel
Yeah.
next to you.
It's just a tiny bit.
Do you do it?
Yeah, I and I look at him. I'm like, I'm gonna get shit for this later if I don't do this right. And so he just like dunks himself in, gets out, and you just see his mustache drooping now instead.
Does Azad have like the facial paints as well?
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Okay. Yeah.
That's just
That was like a
he's-
markings he would put on himself every morning to kind of as part of his ritual for his practice.
he is in a barrel of solvent in this moment.
Yeah. He comes out and he's just clean-faced, very smooth-skinned.
The rest of you get to see this
brown elf.
beautiful little guy, that, like for the first time without his ritual markings.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wow, he's very handsome.
Drooping mustache.
I mean,
Very handsome wet dog.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
Wet cat.
Oh yeah, that's what makes
yes.
sense.
Wet
Yeah.
cats are so much funnier. But after doing so, you detect no disease on Azad's form.
Cool. You're clear. Good work.
Clear.
Thank you. I would imagine she kept like telling me to go back and then to keep doing it until it is done.
The dwarves are appalled at this waste of fine, hard grain alcohol.
Yeah.
You're not should. Is it safe to drink? You think?
I wouldn't.
I think it'd be kind of gross.
Full of, them, and she'll gesture to the writhing hordes.
But also, like, it's full of him, and he kind of winks at Azad.
I mean, I am quite tasty.
That's what I
I
was
love
thinking.
Saltburn.
Man,
I just processed it. What she, yeah.
Forrest Valkai.
Yeah.
You're amongst the most well-informed of us in these matters. Dermal exposure to hard alcohol. Is there any risk of intoxication?
No.
No, not unless it gets in something.
You get it into, it's something you're absorbing into your body, but like this is fine. Yeah.
All right, cool.
It's not going to be pleasant. Your skin's going to feel like crap, but you're going to be fine.
You're all dried out. Yeah. What would you like to do, team? So the doctor, the good doctor, I'm going to go back here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is kind of storming off.
Storming off. Very storming off.
There's just a little rain cloud. Just
Yeah, he's gone. He's walking away.
where's he going?
Probably to the Underduke's office to make sure that she knows what's going on.
All right.
And knows not to drop that tower yet. And then back to Interior. He is on his way.
He's a man on a mission.
I'm
One of the
just gonna
smart
like grab stuff and kind of follow after him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think at this point that's what I want.
The device is still attached to your chair, yeah.
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 So like Gwen will like finish like wiping down everything, check it out, make sure it's good. Is it good, DM?
It's so good.
It's
I
good.
mean, with your, I'm going to say, yeah, there's just no chance of contamination considering the ample supply of a powerful solvent and your detected disease spell.
Cool. Yeah, so Gwen will sort of just like, the wings thing takes a lot out of her, so she's just gonna like sit down and be like, all right, let's just go. Just roll.
Let's roll.
Kirika's gonna pet her dog. She's gonna reunite with her dog, even though she's all. I don't know how much Ember's gonna want to snuggle her because she's covered in grain alcohol and stuff. But
That's
like at
up to
least
you.
from a distance,
Yeah.
just check.
She's overjoyed to see you, I'll tell you that. But dogs, their olfactory sense is many times
Yeah.
better than ours.
Yeah.
And she seems to be like soldiering through it, but like
I know. I'm so sorry, darling. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to frighten you. Oh, okay. We'll go have a proper bath. How about that? Would you like a bath? Would you? Yes? Okay. I'm awful. Ugh.
as you arrive towards the central column of the municipal spire, the dwarves here have built a city into stalactites hanging from the ceiling of a giant cave. And the municipal spire is by far the widest and longest of all of the columns here. This one almost touches the floor of this massive cave system. And the security just sees you and everybody gets like wide-eyed. Like most people seem to have expected you to perish in your endeavor. But clearly word has gotten out that a team has gone and explored Golden Staff Spire. And they have come back. Whether you are victorious or not, they do not know, but you are back.
Yeah, Victor is still probably dripping a little bit, but whereas when he was walking away from the spire, probably shoulders up, fists clenched, just storming. Now probably a little bit more relaxed, but definitely a man on a mission, and is just going to walk into their place.
When alcohol evaporates, it's cold.
Yeah, he's always cold. He is always cold, and he's just drippy and wet and unpleasant and uncomfortable and very mad and just he's
Wet
just
dog energy.
Yeah.
He cuts
Wet
an
cat
impressive
energy.
figure as the interior temperature of this cave system is quite warm, 85 plus all the time, and you just see the steaming doctor just storming through the municipal towers, and as you make your way down to the Underduke's office, you're met at the door. With the Underduke actually standing up and like looking your direction for the first time.
Which one of us is holding the stack of papers that we took from the thing? It is you, right? Yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure.
Oh, I accidentally rolled a die. Sorry.
Hey, but you got a good roll. That's great.
You bludgeoned the papers for 8 damage.
Yeah, I destroyed the papers. I'll probably be reading.
You
while
weren't
walking.
worth it, papers.
Yeah.
That was a real power move.
Yeah.
This is what we went for.
I'm not a part of your system.
Oh man.
Actually, I'm a part of the system right now. I'll be
Yeah.
reading the papers.
Yeah.
So Victor would approach this person and just say, "We got it." Just
That's good to know. Do we need to blow the columns?
no.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
This is my Kirka's not there.
I've been like following him after I got probably very close at the end. Have I reached that this point?
100%.
Can I?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Well, before that, like, can Kirka maybe go in a slightly different direction and try and find us accommodations somewhere?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Okay, so you perhaps wouldn't know this because you'll have stormed off.
Right.
Kirka, we don't have to seen it, but like she's gonna go ask for directions and find a place that can
absolutely.
accommodate us.
Near the municipal spire.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're directed to a kind of a ritzy place for dwarves. It just means more brass fittings on things. It doesn't mean that you're not going to get punched.
Sure.
It's called the Widow's Mule, and it's a little more. It's like 2 silver per night.
She doesn't even carry silver. She doesn't even know what that is.
Right.
So.
She just hands him a banana.
Yeah.
That's it.
A golden banana.
So you're there while they're here, or is this just, or was that a
maybe
quickie
she's just
tour?
told her, like, I'm going to go find us a bath and beds, and meet me back here in an hour. Or whatever.
The innkeep welcomes you. He's like, hey, you need to. You want to not role play it, but I'm going to.
Okay, I just don't want to cut Forrest off. Like,
No,
we
you're
can
fine.
circle back.
We're
to
gonna
it.
flash back here.
Okay.
It's fine. You smell like you've already had a great night.
Thank you. It was certainly an exciting evening.
Well, clearly, I don't know what I can provide you other than like accommodations and more.
A bath?
Bath. We've got a bath. Yeah, we've got a big barrel full of hot water.
Wonderful. I'll take it.
You'll take the whole barrel, or just a rental service situation?
Yes.
All right. If you want to buy it, it'll be a gold piece. Because I'll have to have another brandy barrel cut in half and filled with hot water.
You know what? That won't be necessary. As long as it can be prepared immediately and 4 additional beds made up.
4 additional beds? Aye. What's your name there, lass?
Kirka Counterfire.
Kirka. Michael Quarry. Nice to
Hello,
meet you.
Michael. Nice to meet you.
Lovely to make your acquaintance.
Yep. Oh,
I would like to
Got
roll
him.
for insight to know how long Jesse has been sitting on that pun.
Roll 'em.
That's a 22.
18 hours.
what does Michael Corrie look like, please?
He's very handsome.
Yes.
Even for a dwarf, his features are chiseled and rugged, but in a welcoming way.
In
He's
an
got-
accessible way,
Yeah,
would you
very
say?
accessible.
Someone you want to hug?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard not to.
Yes.
Wisdom saving throw.
Some
Choose to
exuding
fail.
charm makes you want
You know what?
to.
I'm just going to push the button.
Yeah, do it.
That's a 15.
You hug him. You
hug
stop
him.
yourself.
Was there any rule that
Michael,
wouldn't have done it?
Like a 20.
I can't account for this, and I know that I smell terrible, but could I hug you, darling?
Well, I think you smell lovely.
Oh, thank you. And as he's like reaching to shake her hand, she'll just sort of
pulls
pull
it.
him in.
He hugs you around the waist.
I
He's
can't
more
tell
than
you
that.
how happy I am to finally have a proper bath after all these days on the
All right,
road.
there.
Michael, you have no idea.
It's going to be
It's been
fine.
awful.
It's not going to be awful. It's going to be great. Bath's almost ready.
Are there suds?
I can put a beer in there. It'll be great.
I'll take it.
It'll be great.
Hey, Gwen will roll in because Gwen is in this scene now too.
Yeah.
Just so I have this one thing, and Gwen will go. Actually, Michael, could you do me a favor? Could you not tell Gwen what beers you put it in? You know,
You
sort
mean-
of a
you mean
hops
Kirka?
of mystery sort of
Oh,
thing.
not tell you.
Oh,
Yeah,
like,
I'm
yeah,
sure the
that-
front
yourself
door.
in the third
It's
person.
fine. It's fine.
I've got the one right here. It's called Hops of Mystery. Right.
That's it. That's all I wanted to do. And then she's like, "I'm leaving the scene now. Goodbye."
It just evaporates back into
I like to think you just make eye contact and back out.
Into the dark.
It's like the Homer
Back
meme where he just goes in the
What is it? Walking backwards into hell.
Yeah. It's like beep, 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 beep.
She's making her own beeping sounds. Yeah.
He's like, all right, well, I'll get that ready for you. He's this handsome guy. He's shorn on top. He's got this beautiful red beard, some cool specs. Gives him a bit of a like a professor look. It's you kind of want his approval.
Yeah. You really do.
As you head back, we head back to the municipal spire where Dr. Victor Vendica, where Azad and where Retha And
Yeah.
now you again, maybe?
I'm back.
Yeah.
Okay.
and Gwen is fast here.
Gwen went on
zipping.
Gwen went on a pun tour
just
and then left.
materializes back in front of me.
They're so
The
smooth.
floors are super smooth here.
And it's a
around.
spiral thing, so you just got gravity help.
She's like
Yeah,
drifting
getting back
just
up.
around.
How did you get back up? Maybe
Gwen-
they've got some sort of pulley system.
They have elevators here.
Gwen's arm muscles
Gwen's
too
like,
are just ripped
yeah,
as hell.
she's ripped. She did like a
Hell
lot of
yeah.
like OT
Yeah.
and stuff, you know.
Cool.
But also she's just like Tokyo drifting around the floor.
So
So you
Yeah.
succeeded in your endeavors, and you don't think we should blow the spire.
That is correct.
Why don't you think we should blow the spire? Correct me if I'm wrong, but there was all sorts of monsters chasing you right up until the point where we lifted the bridge.
It'll be worse if you blow it. We need to go back to Intrior.
those are abominations. They are not. I don't understand. They would just fall to the lava and then burn.
Doctor, I know that you know why you think so. But let's play a fun game called Exposition, where you tell us why you don't think we should blow the spire, because I think that we're all a bit confused.
Oh, I understand. Now you want me to explain myself. I thought we were going to have a little bit more fun telling me that I need to focus on listening rather than just hearing, and being less arrogant and not trying to be right all the time and trying to learn what the mushrooms want. And maybe people want the mushrooms. If you're ready for me to give my expert opinion, I'd be happy to give it.
Well, you don't have to be a jerk about it.
Oh no, I just want to make sure that that isn't the fate of all the people of Intrior. So if you think that I might have something to go off of here, I'd be happy to tell you. When she opened the lockbox, it broke 3 little tendrils of mushroom, which caused all of them to respond in that way. The ground came alive and things came out of it. This whole network is connected, which means if we hurt all of them now, it could ripple all the way to the town, where they will then be infected like them. They will respond like them. We need to treat the localized infection first and work our way back and blow that up last. That is how you treat a disease like this. Are we ready to go, or do I need to explain it further?
Look at me. Look at me. Those are not part of the circle. They are not part of anything else. They are not connected to what is above. That is an abomination, and it needs to be put down.
I'm going to get closer to you just a little bit, not intimidatingly, but just like upset.
Yeah.
And let me just check really quick. I think it was Mira.
Mira.
It was Mira in the
I think
the
it's the
door.
young woman.
Yeah, the lady in the druid.
Demira.
Demira
I
in the
wrote it
door,
down.
or in the druid.
In the
circle.
druid.
Yeah. You're good. Demira was very clear that she could hear the voice of someone that she called mother. She assumed it was the mother that she's talking about, but it wasn't. It was that. She could hear the trees, she could hear everybody else that was connected to this thing. The roots are farther than you think. It is very clearly a hive mind that is connected to everyone, and I have seen the organ replacement, the tissue replacement that is in even the most benign of cases in Intrior. It is larger than you think, it is scarier than you think, and we need to start moving now.
Doctor, Retha wanted to say something.
I mean, I agree with the doctor.
Before you go on this path that you have decided to go on, once again, I implore you, listen to me. If you want further proof, I'm happy to give it to you. But I'm telling you now, it is not part of anything.
I would love.
if you-
Sorry.
I'm so sorry.
No, you finish your thing.
And if you want a little taste, perhaps this will convince you. And I raise my hand, and you see it in front of you start decaying. And you start seeing it as almost like necrosis starts setting in.
What? What?
And just the hand for now. You start seeing bone, you start seeing inner flesh,
I don't like that.
and you start seeing a little bit of the mushroom style, sponge, fungi style things that you talked about. And it goes back away.
I don't like learning things about my new friends.
What? What?
Okay, does anyone here have normal hands?
Kirk is washing hers. They're
yeah.
wonderful.
I am telling you now, what that is not what you think it is. It is a threat. It is mindless, soulless, consuming, and it is caused through similar arrogance that you are displaying now. And I will then turn to the Duke, the Underduke.
Hey.
I don't know how or why, and perhaps your research will tell us more, but what was done here to something that is beautiful, something that is wondrous through science, through experimentation, through trying to understand without putting proper procedures and empathy, created a monster down there. And my fear is that it is not the only one out there, but what you think is what I am, and what you think the druids are, what they are connected to, is not that. Otherwise, I would have stabbed you right in the back several times. If you want further proof, I will take you to a place I can give you that. Only if you trust me. Otherwise, you strike me down now. But I promise it will not be the end.
Integrating new data.
Yeah, that's
Processing.
it's a lot.
Processing.
Did Kirka come back now that she's
How long will this interaction have taken?
is
They've had to go to the Underduke. How far is the Underduke's office, which is where they are?
is just adjacent to the tavern.
Then let us say that she'll maybe just have dunked herself real quick, just cannot abide the scent of this, and so just maybe in and out 10 minutes, and we'll show up wet, but put together and not smelling of grain alcohol.
Understood. And I would say then Kirka would have caught at least the end of that.
Okay.
Kind of like reach up, be like, he's made mushrooms.
He's what, darling?
He's made of mushroom. I don't understand.
He's made of mushrooms! Mushroom man? What? No, I'm sorry. Forgive me. What?
This seems to be some sort of containment breach, unless you can convince me otherwise.
I've been...
We are blowing the spire, aren't we?
Yes.
It's a bad idea.
The doctor doesn't want to.
Oh, look at my surprised face.
I'm more worried about what's in this office. You seem lovely, but that was horrifying, and I don't want that for my people.
Trust me, I don't care.
Persuasion roll.
Ooh.
What do you got?
I can see a 20, which means it's not a 20.
I would like to use my luck point.
Yeah.
I had 3, but...
I would like to take back these, please.
All right. Thanks, Golub. That's for luck points.
Luck points are pretty cool, dude.
Please.
How are you kidding me? How does that work? How does that work that way? Persuasion, you said?
Yeah.
Luck giveth
that
and
is
luck taketh away.
That is a 5.
Oh,
It was the same exact number. 2 again.
Sorry.
Both times.
Yeah.
That happened to me too. Yeah.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
Luck
Luck
points
is not
might be
with you this
broken.
And
day.
I will just walk straight up to her. And I will look her in the face and then get close. And I said, I don't need to convince you. Because what you actually need to do is convince me as to why I should not bring everything I have and raise what you did to the ground. What your people did to the ground. You think you're innocent in all this?
I mean, I just found a mess and I tried to clean it up. My predecessor had made the mess.
Azad, the Duke knows her realm. Perhaps we don't lecture her in her own office, yes?
I haven't been extremely honest. Not honest. I've kept some things close to the vest, as is my purview as administrator. But I know that Golden Staff Spire, something happened there, and I'm not a scientist. I'm a politician, but I love these people. And when my predecessor succumbed to whatever happened there, I did my best to clean up the city before things got out of control.
Look at your research. Tell them what you find in there.
Yeah.
Do you need a second to keep looking it over?
No, my brain is just not processing any information. So there was the Giant Step program. I don't remember what exactly I've told you all. Sorry about that.
We saw the giant step thing, didn't we? We were all there for that.
You
Yeah.
saw the big arch.
Yeah.
So when that was closed down, it didn't work right. It didn't close all the way, and there were some anomalies that seeped through. They were supposed to be destroyed. They were not destroyed, and they were being cultivated by a botanical team headed by a human named Linnaeus Carl. Basically, what happened is there were several different strains that have different capabilities. You know, the data transmission one, resistance to infection, tissue regeneration, that were being studied. The TK3 strain showed a lot of promise for their research, and they continued cultivating it. And the lab went silent. The gripe began to spread. Patients became lethargic, dormant. They ordered all the samples to be destroyed, and shortly after, the previous Underduke succumbed. This is all about 40 years ago. Then the tendril of TK3 began moving up Golden Staff Spire and presumably extending to the soil above. Then it was closed down by you.
Aye.
There were stray samples that exploded out from the botany lab. Everyone began to fall back to Tinker Forge, which soon after had to be condemned as well to contain the spread. Yeah.
And yet, how confident are we that the spread has actually been contained if people above are already experiencing symptoms?
Well, that's the question now, isn't it? Because I thought we did a good job. We thought the roof of the cave was impermeable, but
You've seen how mushrooms grow.
nothing
can truly contain them.
Sorry, I'm not a biologist. I'm just a politician.
Exposure, adhesion, invasion,
Would you
infection.
cease?
Would you listen?
We've been listening, Doctor, and it is now your turn. You are not the bureaucrat here. These are not your people. We can give the Underduke the information that she needs to make a decision, but ultimately, the decision does fall to her.
Thank you, love.
That's a very kind thing to say. I'll continue explaining the information she needs now.
If I'm right here, and I'm very interested in what you have to say.
Exposure,
Okay.
adhesion,
Right.
invasion, infection. Those are the 4 stages of pathogenesis. That is how a disease spreads. Exposure is when the disease is, you are exposed to the disease. Adhesion is when it gets inside your body. Invasion is when it starts to attack your cells. And infection is when it starts to divide itself, and that's when you see it manifested. You cannot stop the exposure part of this disease anymore. We need to figure out how to prevent adhesion and invasion. Otherwise, they will go straight to not infection, but immuneness.
What about blowing the charges prohibits you from continuing to find a solution?
I am not convinced that hurting anything in that lab won't have a ripple effect that reaches the rest of the town.
You're concerned that if we blow the charges, everyone else infected will die?
I'm concerned that if we blow the charges, what just happened to those tendrils up there on the spire will ripple to the people in Introspection.
And
I
you
am your
think-
proof.
I have a DM question.
Yeah.
While this is going on, sorry, I just want to roll for something. So this stuff in here, I mean, I summarized it, but it's talking, and the device is talking about using organic material for long-range data transmission.
Mm-hmm.
My hunch would, and kind of probably similar to what Victor's thinking, is that whatever is down here is transmitting the stuff up to what's up there. Can I roll to see like if I'm looking through details on notes, if how accurate I think that is. If
Yeah.
it's two separate mushroom colonies that one is
That's
doing the other.
precisely what I've been going for, and I wouldn't know words like data transmission. So like
Yeah.
that is exactly what I'm saying. Yes.
Intellect check for you, and while you roll down, I'm going to go hear him as the Underduke. What do we got? What do you got?
It's a bad time.
Intelligence?
Yeah, just that plus your int.
24.
Yes.
Hey!
Isn't that 20?
No, it's 19.
19. You're just so smart.
Yeah. I'm literally as smart as a person can be.
I'm gonna go ahead and put that in your wiki.
You get the impression that. I'm sorry. One more time. What was your specific question?
I want to know, because of the data transmission angle, if this is in fact two separate fungal colonies where one has infected the other through long-term data transmission.
I mean, it potentially could be. You would need more data to really determine that.
Okay.
And that's exactly what I'm afraid of.
I think that I'm going to let them keep fighting.
Just
would like
because
to
she's
hear from
been
Gwen.
silent for a little bit, I'm going to go to Gwen.
Gwen literally raises her hand like she's in school.
You don't need to raise your hand. You're an adult.
Thank you. Doctor, I'm really sorry. I shut down when people are yelling at me, and it makes it hard to absorb information. Wouldn't dropping the spire sort of cut off the main source, like the brain of the infection from where it's been coming?
I don't know, but I know that if you cut out a tumor and don't get all the tendrils, sometimes the tendrils can become more dangerous than the original tumor.
Doctor,
I'm not willing to risk it.
can
We
we-
need to move fast.
Doctor, may I make a suggestion? As we are trying to share information our friend has just expressed, a sentiment that I share is perhaps a more modulated tone would be more educational and beneficial to all.
I'm so sorry to be so upset. I seem to be acting as if we almost just got eaten by mushroom monsters. I understand it's hard for you to deal with us commoners, being from the upper crust of society. But where I come from, our society's a bit less crusty, so I don't know how to speak to you. It's best if you don't like me, that you leave me alone to work so I can go save some lives. Can we leave now?
I'm actually quite upper crust. Please, I very much value your data on this, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to absorb a lot. Thank you for your expertise. I'm sorry that our approaches have been primitive by your standards. Please tarry with me for one more moment, because I have some big decisions to make. You're terrifying, whatever you are. But you seem to think something. Why do you think these two things are separate?
Because I didn't feel them. They are not.
How long have you been like that?
How long I've been like what? Like this?
Like-
Both hands start deteriorating.
God, that sucks to look at.
This is the first time Eric is seeing it. So, you don't.
What else would I
told
be
me about
referring to if not that?
I don't know. We've been
sucks
through a
to
lot.
look
haven't
at.
we?
But no, seriously, I do need how, like, and I know I know a lot. I just straight answered like years.
Do you know, or do you want me to answer this for you? Because there's a lot of data going around.
Yeah. Just give it.
Yeah, I'll just give it to you. You know that it's been about 3 years.
3 years.
Okay.
If you would like, and forgive me if I misunderstood what your device does, but that device perhaps could help give you the proof you need. And I can also take you to further proof. But if I really were connected to what that abomination was, I would have raised all of you to the ground just as much as the rest of them would
It's a
have.
lot of talk of raise, and I'm a little bit uncomfortable with it. I'm not sure that any of us are going to walk out of this room alive.
Okay.
Still.
Well, okay. So, are you in the right emotional headspace to receive information? So I think you are connected to it. So data is a word for information. Typically, when you take information and put it into a format that can be transmitted elsewhere. So what I think likely happened is the gate, based on this research, these came through the gate, whatever it is, whether it's in itself mycelial or just the cultivars are compatible with the format of like mycelial structure, it is bad. It grew like a tumor. And I think it might have infected the indigenous fungus of Ontrier. I think it might have transmitted that sort of, I don't know, if like a tumor was contagious, that spread that thing into that colony. So some of the properties here, only more recent. I mean, this all happened like 40 years ago. We're very far underground. It would taken a very long time to make its way up. I think it's possible some of those properties are here. So to the doctor's point, I do think these things are connected and we don't quite know how to separate them before destroying the spire. It could be possible that if we were to attack such a large area, that whatever the equivalent of emotions that this thing could feel, we don't know how it's transmitting information. And I mean, I think this device is the key, but it's nowhere near ready.
Could we not conduct a test? Rather than blow the spire outright, is there a way for us to inflict significant damage to it from a distance and observe the way that people react as we do so?
That seems dangerous in the interest of hurting the least amount of people. Sort of like, if you were sick, just pouring a chemical on it and seeing how it reacts. In a small sense, yes, but we're going to need to study both samples to see what the connection is. Does that sound...
I think I know how you actually feel now. That is all great conjecture. Amazing conjecture, actually. But I am telling you, when you snapped those tendrils, I felt nothing. When you killed those monsters, I felt nothing.
Azad, what you are describing is anecdotal. You are a single point of data. We need more.
What I'm
Then
saying
destroy the whole thing.
is if I am sick and I pass a sickness to you, our sicknesses are not connected. Not that this is inherently a sickness, but it can cause the gripe. I think the gripe was present here and it's present in Ontrier, so something connected both of those. Even if the connection isn't still there, we need to figure that out.
What was that you had to say there, love?
Yeah. This is maybe a very silly way of putting it, and you'll forgive me, but I'm a librarian. I'm not a scientist. Is maybe a way of thinking about it that the mushrooms themselves, the mushrooms, the plants, the ground, the water, the earth of Antrier, the mushrooms are sick. It's not that they're particularly a problem. It's not that, it's bad or nefarious or anything like that. It's that the mushrooms that have grown and that have gotten people sick are sick because the data
Yeah.
the data has come from here to them, and they're getting sort of bad information.
Right. So if the gripe is here and the gripe is there, they're connected by some medium, and we have to figure out what that medium is and sever it. We're not necessarily talking about destroying what's up here. We're talking about destroying whatever is connecting the gripe from here and there. Because if there's a sickness in one place and there's the identical sickness in another, there was a communication at some point. And the mushrooms themselves aren't necessarily the sickness, the gripe is. And so we know the gripe started here, and we know it's appearing there. So something is connecting it.
But whether we destroy the source outright or attempt to sever it, would the effect not be the same? You would feel it if we attempted to sever your limb.
If I may, how many of your people have fallen to the gripe?
None of mine.
We talked to the doctor about that, and he said that, if I remember correctly, Dr. Eisenbud said nobody had died from it, right?
Yeah, they get sick for a couple of days and then they
Yeah,
get better.
but all their organs are replaced. So,
Well, that's not quite what we experienced. People died down here.
So
Almost 100%.
Immediately.
Within hours.
I think.
Is it Kirka?
Yes.
Your Bing Bong bolt that you did.
The
Yes.
ping pong bolt.
That is what we call it among
I'm
our
sorry, please continue.
Some respect, if you would.
I'm sorry.
Dr. Retha, do you think it could be something like that? We're down here because it's closer to the source, it's closer to the gates, it's closer to, whence it came. It's very strong.
Like an earthquake.
Like an earthquake. But as the sort of data Bing Bong bolts, this is the worst thing I've ever said.
You're talking about the
it's
source degrading. As
yeah,
it
well,
goes
it's
on.
gotten weaker and weaker and weaker. So up top, I mean, I know there's many people who are different than dwarves, obviously, but is it that it's gotten weaker and weaker and weaker as it's traveled? The information isn't getting all the way through.
Well, I don't know because everything in this research indicates that it actually had a pretty strong long-range data transmission. I think it could be that the fungus down here is fundamentally different from the fungus up there. In the same way, you could get a cold and I could get a cold and we would have different symptoms. I think that's likely what happened.
Then let us simply conduct an experiment, yes? Can we take a sample from one sort of infected person and a sample from another sort of infected person and see if they're the same?
We have to go back across the bridge.
Perhaps there's a better way to acquire a sample.
Look, I can't let you go back across.
I have no intention
you're,
of going back across the bridge.
Crow. Is it a raven? No?
Oh, it's a crow.
Okay. It's
Big
hard
one?
to tell. One is just
Yeah.
bigger than the other. You could...
Yeah, I could do that.
Why make conjecture when we could test, yes?
It would be an insanely bad idea to bring any samples of that over here.
But wouldn't it be worth the risk?
No.
Could we do it? This is so silly, Doctor, and I'm just throwing, fantasy spaghetti at the wall. Could we do it in the air? Could you devise a test, some sort of, I don't know, thing, but we could just have it in the air. We wouldn't have to bring it over. We could fly it, we could float it, we could do any sort of thing, but it wouldn't touch the ground over here. And just sort of have Paper Crow bring it kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know it's really dumb. I know it's so dumb, you guys.
It's not dumb. guys.
Yeah. I was thinking about, I was like, how can I use
Between
I'm
us,
trying
we
to
must
think
have
about
the
it.
means to create some sort of quarantine or containment.
I'm trying to think about how to do that while
I mean,
trying to act grumpy.
How
It's
do
hard.
5 adults in their
right?
30s not have a floating air platform between them?
At this point, Azad, I'm assuming that he's been sitting listening to all of you, gets up. When you're ready to hear the full truth, you can come follow me. And then he turns around, and as he's turning, he looks at the Duke, and then turns and walks out the door.
Well, you try, don't you? Well, the door is barred.
Damn you, DM.
Sorry, look, I would have let you go, but this is a lot. I'm not.
You have seen probably worse than this.
I have, and that's why I can't let you go. Look, we've got to reason this out because I owe it to the people here. There are 30,000 dwarves down here.
Could we?
Assad, you said once we're ready to hear, like, if all cards on the table right now, what is, you said you can show us the proof. Can you tell us what you would go and show us?
You can meet Mother.
I need, what?
You go and pray in the evening. You're a pious fellow. To whom have you been praying, Azad?
To Mother.
To Luciana?
I never said Luciana.
Oh, Jesus.
Could you expand on that?
Kirka's hand immediately turns into fire.
Yeah, easy.
What?
There's going to be plenty of fire for all of us soon, I
Something that
think.
happens sometimes. Who are you?
I am Azad. I am me. And I'm one of the fold. And if you want the truth, if you wish to burn everything to the ground, feel free to be the church that we saw. You can burn all the innocent above. Easy. That'll get you your containment. That'll get you exactly what you want. But if it's not, and once again I say, if you seek truth and not to just be right, you will listen to me.
I'm so ready to listen, but like maybe you could.
We can't leave this
Okay.
room until you convince her that you're not going to infect everyone
Azad,
you touch.
I fear that you have persuaded us in the opposite direction. Would you like
it's-
to make a different
At this
I've
point,
been
I will
in a
turn to
cult
the
before.
DM.
I'm trying so hard to keep a straight face here right now because you and I talked about something earlier off camera, and I've seen what
Don't
you were
metagame.
talking. No,
Don't
but I saw
metagame.
what you were talking about now, and I'm like, "Ah."
It clicks.
No metagaming.
You're on stone floors.
At least take me to some place that has dirt.
Is there any dirt in the walls at all? It's all stone.
How far up would we need to go to find dirt?
You saw dirt at the entrance to the tunnels.
It's
Your
been granite.
Excellency, could you send someone for a dirt
You
sample?
can send your entire regiment if you wish. You can isolate me. You can put me in a bubble if you wish.
We needn't be so dramatic. I'm simply asking that we send someone to retrieve some dirt for us to examine.
Is that going to somehow be connected to the dirt above if it's just like a little pot of dirt?
Well, there's only one way to find out, and that's to test.
Azad, you would know that.
Yeah.
No.
No. I'm not some potted plant. You could just put in and expect something.
I'm not suggesting that we put
I'm going
you
to be honest.
in
You haven't
dirt.
was
been
so
very
slick.
forthcoming
That was
with
good.
detail.
That was really
No,
good.
with the like specifics of how this functions. I understand the connection to the mother and things, but I just need a step by step, just run through.
What happened?
Use the device. Please.
Gonna, like,
Here?
roll it up.
Now?
Yes, no, that's brilliant. The mushroom person is telling us to use the device that wreaked mushroom havoc upon 2 spires of the Dwarven city and is now infecting the whole town.
It is not what it will do.
Are you not a little curious, Doctor?
Oh, yes, no, I'm very curious, and that sends all skepticism out the window.
Okay, I have my blueprint. I have Linnaeus's research. I have the device. While all this is going on, I'm just gonna. Can I roll intelligence to kind of try and piece all of this together?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, can I do the same, actually?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because yeah.
Is it just intelligence?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like
24.
2 proficiency here.
Hey!
I feel like a little tool proficiency also.
What did you get?
24.
You beat me. I got a 17.
You know who built this,
That's +4.
and
Oh,
you know who has hands-on experience with this device. And it's somebody from your past. Ardith Emberhorn
Yeah.
built this device.
Right.
She would probably be a good consultant.
Okay. Well,
I will stay here if you must, whatever it takes for you.
None of
Time.
us are leaving.
can
Am I
leave?
correct, Excellency?
How am I to know? Forgive me. That this won't bless all of my people if I let you leave.
You can't know.
I can tell you, not concisely, what is the word I'm looking for? Assuredly?
I'll take assuredly. I'll take concisely.
I'll take confidently.
Confidently.
Yeah. I can tell you confidently that we are all clean of the spores that are in those spires. All the rest of us are safe.
I have walked through your streets already.
That's fair.
If there is any harm or any danger I put your people through, I will take that responsibility. But as of right now, I had no intention of hurting anybody here.
Gwen, you have a way to test for disease, don't you? Will you perhaps provide the Duke with some insight?
Yeah, and I mean, it's been more than 10 minutes probably. Yeah, so I'll cast again.
How about narratively not? It's not narratively for some reason.
Okay, I mean, I'll burn
Still
this spell
up.
slot. I
Don't.
don't care.
Nah.
It's fine.
I imagine a medicine check wouldn't do anything here anyway.
Actually,
Oh, what do you got?
Magical insights.
What do you got? What you got? What you got, Gwen?
DM, I'm gonna let you make this call. Is True Sight transferable?
No.
Okay.
Well, but the
Could I-
object is.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
I'll burn a charge. I got one left. Yeah, so Gwen will kind of think for a second, and she'll take off her sinew necklace.
That's why I was laughing. You're handing her this thing. It's
and
so gross.
I'm going,
Really gross.
It's so
Be like-
gross.
you're just gonna have to go with me on this one, right?
I mean, these could be our last moments, so sure.
She's very good at what she does.
She seems lovely.
Put this on, if you don't mind.
Is it belt or
No, it's a neck. Okay.
Ugh,
I know. Sorry.
it's got a carrot in
A
it.
heartbeat gave it to me. And all you need to do is just sort, like you're looking through a glass.
This piece, like the little glassy piece down here.
Yeah.
Oy.
And it should tell you at least if Azad is on the up and up, and if anyone here is, I
There's a lot
know.
of ghosts here.
Try not to think about it too much.
I will be thinking about this every day for the rest of my life. Oh,
It's
I
but
picked my nose in here.
but if you look at Azad, you should be able to at least.
He looks the same as all of you.
And how do we look?
Like you, but glowy.
Yeah, sorry about the ghost. I forgot to warn you.
That's horrific.
Yeah, it's not great. I sort of have to just live with that knowledge.
Is blowing the spire going to get rid of those? Because
I
this
honestly,
close.
I was sort of cooking up something in the old noggin for that, because I don't know, it just seems really rude to just sort of drop ghosts in lava.
I don't think that.
Does
I don't
lava
think ghosts
affect
burn. I don't think that's how
I don't
ghosts
think
work.
I don't know, I
they're
was-
incorporeal
I'd
by
like you to-
definition.
Today I learned that ghosts exist.
I'd
Oh
like you-
yeah, also we talked about fairies
Aren't you a
already.
Can I
necromancer?
show? Can I show?
Yeah,
Will
it
that
should-
work?
Yeah, it should work. I mean, I think it's whoever's wearing it.
Yeah, here you go. Put that meat necklace on.
Sorry.
Thanks, I hate it.
Do you look at
This is just Victor's worst day. This has been like a shitty week. And what I
Terrible,
assume
no good, very bad.
you've already had some tragic backstory thing. It's probably like a close second.
Also, like when you take it down, you still see it's awful.
Just
Sorry about
no,
it.
it's fine. I'm sorry, I have to deal with this for a second, and then I'll get back into character. That's really fucking funny.
I think the doctor's
Okay.
learning what it is to know and not believe.
Oh man, dude. Oh, okay.
Sorry about it.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
It's a whole
I
thing,
just-
doctor. It's a whole thing.
Even when you close your eyes, they're still there.
Yeah.
It's horrible. Yeah.
It's best not to look any of them in the eyes, because they'll show up in your dreams.
Is that real?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I've been looking at that guy in the eye.
Did
Yeah,
we
I
just
will.
give a vampire an existential crisis? For a meat necklace?
I've got the vampire in here as well.
Well, he's
not a
a vampire in
vampire.
spirit.
He takes it
It's-
kind of personally.
He's not a vampire.
I'm sorry.
He's my friend.
Well, he's-
wink?
Not that I
Wait.
wouldn't be
He's
friends.
not a vampire. Wink.
Oh, I've got the wink was very telling. Are
I
you
fear
okay?
that he's always sort of having a cascading existential crisis, and
Victor,
we've escalated.
Is he okay? Are
Victor,
you
how are
okay?
you doing?
Doctor, do you need like a
Deep
hug or
breaths.
something?
You need some water,
gonna hug
or
I'm not going to be
I
any
was
different.
offering. I mean, I'll take that one for the
I'm
team.
not
I'm gonna-
concerned
Hold on,
about
hold
the
on,
ghost.
hold
I
on.
thought we all knew about
Hold
the
on.
ghosts.
Hold on a minute.
I'm gonna like
I just want to go back to my office. I just want to read.
Crook
I
his
just
head.
want to study. I just want to fix this. I just want to get out of these same damn clothes for one day. I just want to go home. I kind of shove the necklace at you and just storm out, just close to the door as I can, just to wherever there's like a corner or a bench, and just kind of deal for a second, and just lots of that red smoke just kind of pouring off them really quickly, and just kind of in the corner, and just red smoke, and just just kind of composing himself in the corner now.
Just give just some space. Just let him. Just
He's had a
leave
day.
him be. Leave him.
Azad gives you a moment. And then he looks at you and says, Doctor, what you do is magnificent. What you believe in, what you practice, the miracles, nay, not miracles, I'm not even going to accredit that. Your talent and your knowledge and your capabilities have done wonders. And it is not any less important than anything else that happens in this world. It is but a small part, though. You are contributing in your way, as is everybody else. Do not let new knowledge affect or diminish what you have succeeded at, but perhaps use it to inform you on how better you can go about it in the future. I'm not asking you to join the fold. I'm not asking you to accept all of this, but I am asking you to understand. You don't need to be right, but you do need to understand.
Victor's gonna just kind of glance over in the direction of Retha, particularly, and say to you, looking at her, just kind of off to the side, under his breath, just trust, whether we understand or not. I need more data.
I will give it as much as you need.
All right, I've made my decision. So, Mushroom Boy's already been all around my city. And if you're going to spread your
Seeds.
Please, spores is appropriate.
Azad.
Seeds is so
I
much.
thought it
know
would be
what-
fun tonight.
It's,
You
oh
knew.
my God, dude.
I'm this close.
I don't want to think about your
I'm this
seeds.
close.
I don't want to think about your seeds, bro.
Is it mushrooms down
Come on,
there?
bro.
Come on, bro.
Keep your seeds yourself,
Come on,
bro.
Come on, bro.
Fellas, is it gay to think about it?
It's a bit late if I want to contain all of this. I'm going to trust you, and you're going to trust these other are y'all mushrooms.
Oh, heavens no.
I'm part
Whoa.
robot,
He's a metal person.
partially.
Okay, well, that's not spreading right now, so I'm going to file that under our concern for a later date.
I always do.
This sounds unhealthy. You're gonna go. I'm gonna escort you out. Not personally, that'll look weird. Get everything you need from Marlstone. Go fix it. We'll be watching. And if this gets out of control, Marlstone's gonna do what it does to protect itself.
Thank you, Excellency.
Oh,
As is your right.
call me Underduke. No,
Thanks,
but thanks
bro.
for the respect. I do appreciate it. It's not the gesture is not lost, but I feel like I failed a lot today. Do you need anything else?
Perhaps one of your more stiffer drinks for him.
A
To
hot
calm
bath
his nerve.
again?
I will give you. Look, you can have access to my private quarters. Because I think if you fail, it won't matter.
Are there any of your own who have studied this? Anyone who was involved with the project who was not contaminated when it fell?
From what I understand, Carl was quite brilliant, but he lived as long as humans do.
But no one worked with him?
There was, when the botany lab went,
It went fast. Very well.
Did you say out loud that we need to go, or did he say in an exposition dump that we need to go? Did he say that we need to go back to the Ardith's lab?
Yes, we have
Or
to-
did you say that out loud, or am I about to say that out
That's
loud?
just
This
knowledge that
expedition,
she had.
I was waiting for
Yeah.
us to be allowed to leave, and then
I wanted, because I was there in Ardith's lab when she said that this is what happened and that we need to
Yeah.
find Linnaeus Carl. So which one of it do you want me or you to say we need to get back to?
You intended. Well, great question. Is
Yeah.
the doctor in a talky mood?
He-
You usually are, so I would defer to you there.
He just took a deep breath and decided to trust people for a second, begrudgingly, and told the Underduke, I want to say told the Underduke that he needs more data. That's reasonably where he would go, because that's what was in my notes to go.
Go ahead and take it in story, okay?
It's-
and
Yeah,
cut.
yeah, it's Ardith. Yeah.
Yeah, Ardith.
Okay, so then I just look over to you. We need to get back to Ardith's lab. Say something. It's in there. Yeah,
Yeah.
something in that sentence.
Yeah, this, and gesturing at the device, this is a lot, and I think she's the one who knows how to use
well,
it.
I threw Ardith out. Ardith got herself thrown out.
But was she wrong?
No, she was absolutely correct. It wasn't me that threw her out. It
Yeah.
was my predecessor. Before you go, have you need of any supplies?
What do you have that might help us?
Don't know what you need.
Perhaps if you have better equipment, I think we could use some whatever help you can get with what is coming.
I'd take that private quarters bath.
Private quarters, Beth. You've got it.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get lotion. And just in case it's necessary, could I, do they have like gas for like lamps and things?
Absolutely.
And stuff? I kind of want to get some things to like make a flamethrower in case it's necessary.
Ooh.
Absolutely.
pretty tight.
I don't know what to.
Fantastic.
I mean, like to throw the.
I just,
You've got it.
yeah, I'll like explain. I won't say a flamethrower. I'll just be like, can I just get
But
some
I'm a
combustion?"
flamethrower.
And
Friend-
you're usually very far away from me.
All right. Just let me know where you're going to be. Make me a list. Whatever you need, it's on it. It'll be there. You have my word. Then you're going to get the heck out of my city. And you're going to kill or save or convert or, I don't know, pray to the mushroom monsters and, or, sorry, that's terrifying what you do.
It does require a little acclimation.
There's so many strange things in this world. That's one.
Cool. Well, I'm going to pretend like there's not ghosts here.
Sorry.
You've burdened me with great knowledge, and I wish you hadn't.
I missed the person I was 5 minutes ago.
Now, if that is all, I've got a new irrigation trench to approve.
Thank you.
Thank you. Unless you fail. In which case, it was kind of nice knowing all of you.
If we fail, then even I won't exist.
Well, I hope that's not true. Maybe. Private quarters.
Thank you.
One story up. Get out, and you hear as she says, "Get out." The doors just open by themselves, seemingly, and then you see two dwarven soldiers. They're not dressed the same. It's all black, muted tones. They seem to be wearing some sort of goggles that like light up as you pass and just kind of inspect you. They're covered in like short blades, and they've got a series of like flintlock pistols along their sides. As she seems to have called in some sort of dwarven black ops team to just cleanse this place.
Sweet.
No beards, they're like clean shaven and just like little, like almost like a balaclava situation. These guys meant business, and they wordlessly just watch you go. You find yourselves being escorted to rather lavish private quarters of the Underdukes. Anything you need, she will make available.
How do I need to send someone up to cancel our accommodations at Michael's? Like, is this going to hold all of us comfortably and then some?
It is beyond lavish.
Okay. Then let us simply say that Kirka summons someone to go and give Michael some extra gold with her regrets.
Okay. And as you state that and you mention the extra gold, the attendant just kind of puts their hand up. It will be taken care of.
Gwen is gonna like just hard spin around to Azad. Because Azad, and you're short king, right? Yeah. So like Gwen's probably like still like a little bit above you, or
Absolutely.
below you, but like not too
Above is
much.
great.
And she's gonna do that thing where she's like, "What in the actual shitting fuck? What did you?" Then she just keeps like hitting you.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Could you? Oh!
Hold up. I feel we all have had our moments of secrecy for obvious reasons and for whatever personal reasons we might have. Would you have been okay if I had suddenly done that on our first meeting? I feel like that wouldn't have
I
been
mean,
the
no,
case.
but like we've been trying to figure this out the whole time, and at no point did you think to go.
I didn't know about this.
Also, like I'm also in the circle. I'm also like I'm a mushroom man. Like at no point did you think maybe that was like useful information for the group to have.
I kept telling you that that wasn't the problem, and the real problem was the burning and the church. I never lied about who I actually was following. You implied. You made an assumption.
A sin of omission. Wonderful.
I didn't trust. I couldn't trust you.
I'm not mad at you. Like I need you to understand. Like I'm not mad. I just like, wow, buddy.
It's a lot. It's a lot. You must admit, Azad. It's rather.
I know it is.
Does it hurt?
No.
Like yeah. Are you all right?
What does it feel like? Do you
Okay.
feel spongy?
I feel
Gwen just
like,
pokes him, just like right in the tum tum.
Feels like a guy.
Seven, tickle it.
No.
Also, you can put your damn hands down.
I mean, if you really want the full experience.
Well, no. Well, your clothes remain on.
Oh no, yes, but if that's what
Honestly,
you want,
in for a penny, in for a pound.
and then you see him, and he's completely a decayed corpse.
Oh.
Rita just
Oh.
looks fascinated.
Victor, as if you just did nothing,
Looks like you're
just dead. Just
Wink.
just
Victor's like, this shit might as well
this is
happen.
the next thing he's seen.
Azad, you find it hard to recorporealize.
Oh, fun.
Because
Well-
you are not near any sort of nodes of the soil.
And as he tries to go, I'm like, well, shit.
Are you stuck that way now?
Well, for now.
Oh.
Anybody have anything to cover me up a little more?
You think I could cover this? I mean,
I mean, you probably should.
I'm gonna grab a bathrobe.
Yeah. I'll take my turban and I'd wrap it
it
more
is
around my
pink,
face instead.
But
Yeah.
it does belong to the
And it's,
underdo.
I like to think it's nice and plush.
It's soft, cushy. It's got like
Yeah.
it's like got a nice collar
You're a
situation.
corpse in a comfy robe.
at least I'm not the most vampiric one anymore.
Also, Doctor, can I ask you a question that's maybe a bit of a silly one? But like, I don't know how else to say this, and I don't mean to be offensive, but like, you're a lich, right?
Oh,
Wait, I thought he was a vampire.
No, we've been roasting him about being a vampire, like, because
I actually really thought he was.
I believe I already implied that he was a lich.
Yeah.
So
Are you,
I'm
what
a-
are you?
I'm a doctor.
Yeah,
That's
but,
not-
I don't know how I could be more clear.
right. But why are you always in the same clothes?
Is that your phylactery?
Is it your?
can you?
I don't think you see an adventuring bag anywhere on me. I've got my clothes and I've got my medical supplies, and that's all that I need.
Do you want us to buy you some more clothes? I would love to buy you some more clothes.
it's been
I do
stinking a
love
lot.
a good shopping trip. You don't smell good.
All right.
I'm a literal decaying corpse and you smell worse than me.
All right, cards on the table. Like, and Gwen's gonna sort of like pull forward like into the group, and be like, I know that this is a bit of an unlikely party, and we haven't really gotten off on the right foot, and we continued on the wrong foot, and I feel like we're just missing feet left and right.
You have secret wings.
I'm Sindarian. It's fine.
What? You're what?
That's what I'm saying. A lot of us have been keeping things from each other, not explaining things fully. No offense, lying by omission. And like, I understand that, some stuff, it's like, yeah, I have wings. It's there handy sometimes. But if we're going to really solve this, if we're really going to help people, she looks at the doctor, if we're really going to figure out what's going on, I think that maybe this is an excellent time to start being honest with each other.
As long as we can have a round first.
No more surprises, That's all I'm
My
asking
intent
for.
was never to surprise, but it was purely out of self-preservation.
No, I understand, and no one, and I want to be so clear, Azad, no one is blaming you for that. Like, I get it.
Thank you.
I understand why you wouldn't, and Doctor, whatever, she just sort of gestures.
All of
going
this.
on here, same thing. And Rita, you have your reasons for keeping your things to yourself, and Kirka, I'm still not real sure what's going on with you at all, but I
Two of
just
us.
feel like if we're going to do any sort of anything, we're gonna have to trust each other. And we're gonna have to treat each other with a bit more kindness, a bit more understanding. I'm sorry I hit you, by the way. And
section.
Maybe let's ask him for some more of the good stuff, and we can cards on the table. Yeah, that's all I'm asking for.
I should like one of those robes, actually.
There's another one
can
here.
have mine.
Very comfortable.
There's like actually, I mean,
Just
there's
a
like
Yeah, you can
hall
give me
full
the
of
robe. Yeah,
robes.
can,
Is it?
I mean,
like a
can
whole
Kirka
closet.
just do a little? Is there an attendant? Is there anyone like outside the door?
There's one outside the door.
Okay, so she'll do a little on the door.
It's like the Matrix with robes, just the long thing of guns, just all the robes.
Right, what can I get for you?
What is this?
Bertrand.
Bertrand.
Love Bertrand.
Bertrand, it seems that we are going to be in for the night. Where
Oh,
might we?
great. One moment.
She's used to this. Actually, she's used to doer servants.
This is my favorite kind of Jesse Jerdak.
Darling, if we were to send away for some food, what might you recommend?
There's some lovely sausages, local, made out of the deep goats. Gamey to perfection.
Wonderful.
Could recommend.
Okay.
We have some local mushroom stew.
No, thank
no,
you.
thank you.
Understandable.
I'll have that actually.
You've got a
Extra for him.
extra for him. Family style. What else?
Whatever you think would be suitable for a group such as this, perhaps a round of the good stuff.
Madame will be happy to notice that there is a well-stocked liquor cabinet
Oh, lovely.
behind Madame.
And get something nice for yourself, would you?
Oh, it would be my pleasure to add to my to-do list on your behalf.
He just writes F off for like 15.
Wonderful, wonderful.
For the
I just give him a list. I know it probably doesn't matter, but I did write up a list of things that Rita wants.
Nice.
We won't know in character, but can Charlotte hear what's on the list?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Let's see. I need like 3 moderate-sized canisters. List out specifics for hoses and valves. New clothes because I threw mine in lava. New clothes for Victor. Rita just kind of looked you up and down and could probably what are you like 36-inch waist? Let's go. Mineral oil, kerosene, 2 diamonds worth 500 gold, 250 gold worth of mithril, specific amounts of titanium, aluminum, steel, and brass, and a space to work.
Okay.
When
well,
did you do this?
Yes.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Madame is very efficient. 2 diamonds.
Yeah.
Sure.
I would love a diamond. That'd be nice.
I don't think they're just giving out diamonds.
Oh,
here.
if not, then
They never specified
This
that
is
they
for a
weren't.
purpose, yes?
Yes.
I do have to take an accounting of all of this. Right, 3 diamonds.
I'm just joking. But if you can, that'd be great.
3 diamonds.
Heck yeah.
No more.
So now we're
And-
up to 6 diamonds, or just 2 for Rita and 1 for
2
you?
and 1.
Okay.
Unless Miss would also like a large
Oh, no.
precious jewel.
Actually, do you have any cake?
Cake.
I really want cake.
We've got a lovely honeyed cake with some light lavender notes. It's the season. Honeyed cake. Full honeyed cake.
1 fork.
1 fork.
1 fork.
1
2 forks.
Fork. 2.
She'll look at Rita. You can keep the other fork.
There is a complement of silverware in the kitchen area.
There won't be if.
I'm good. That's
Actually,
not
I don't think
normal
any
thing.
of us have seen Rita eat metal.
No, we
No,
haven't.
you haven't.
Yeah.
We just see you pocket it from time to time.
Yeah, you
I
just
just think
think
you like silver.
You're just a
Kleptomaniac.
sneaky
I just
guy.
like
We think you're just a kleptomaniac?
yeah.
2 forks, in addition to an entire kitchen full of forks.
And I don't know if you're the right person to talk about this, but the Underduke promised or assured us we can perhaps get some upgrades in weaponry.
Adventuring equipment.
Wait,
And
it was Bertrand, right?
Bertrand.
Bertrand how does Bertrand react to Ghoulface over
I'm,
here?
I'm like covered. I'm
you
like
Yeah,
I'm
you're
like
just hiding
I'm,
over
I'm
it.
like the Invisible Man, where it's just like like wrapped up and like, you just see eyes coming
Okay.
through.
Okay.
Bertrand is so over everything that aristocrats can throw at him.
Same shit, different day.
And then
This time the corpse talks.
He rolls up his little scroll.
Of course, master.
and like I give first my dagger.
Oh, you can just throw that right in the trash.
It has a little sentimental value.
Well, then
if
you can
don't
hold
mind.
on to that. Do you need a bigger one or a smaller
Well, a
one?
repair would be great, but if you can provide that, a better one would be fantastic. And whatever, wrong one, I want that. Whatever is left over, happy to line your pockets a little.
Thank you. Bertrand is paid quite well. Thank you, sir.
Oh, well,
I am just here to
Magda.
provide whatever the heroes of Marlstone
Oh, that's
potentially, or the greatest villains Marlstone has ever encountered, need to complete their missions. So, what kind of daggers specifically?
whatever you have that is of good quality and you think would be, oh, I'm going to lean into this. The heroes of Marlstone deserve and could use on their adventure to save the world.
Oh, of course, you only deserve the finest according to you. So, all
Well,
right.
I didn't put those. You put those words in my mouth.
How about protective garments
That
or
would be
anything?
fun. Actually, do you have sunweave? Anything made of sunweave?
No, that's Samagratan stuff. I'm sorry, but we can get you something like a light armor, or are
That'd
you
be
looking for
fantastic.
something heavier?
Perhaps
Light.
a pot of dirt.
Pot of dirt.
I
Of
said I'm not a
course.
potted plant. Okay.
Well,
Any protective garments for the rest of you?
I'll take some number 10 scalpel blades and 3 more servings of whatever dinner everyone is having.
Roast undergoat,
Extra mushrooms for him.
bonus mushrooms,
you might need to bring him a live goat.
live goat
No.
for the daywalker.
That's it. Yeah.
All right, protective garments. No. All right. Well, so
Oh, undesalinic acid.
one more time.
Undesalinic acid.
Feel free to write that one yourself,
Let me make sure I'm spelling that right.
And you do.
Yes.
Anything else
Someone
for
didn't make that list before.
Madam? You're quite quiet over there. Just the honeyed cake.
Like Gwen will like authentically, like vulnerably look at Reese and be like, I don't know what to ask for.
If you don't need anything, you don't need to ask for anything.
Yeah, that's fine.
Ask for more acid.
Can I have acid?
The narcotic
Would,
or the...
would Madam care to specify?
Undesalinic acid.
undulating
We
acid.
don't have quotas, darling. If you need more of something, you
could
need only
probably just
acid.
I could have just wrote more.
4 undesalinic acid jars, big. As much as you can. 4 of them.
4 quarts of undesalinic acid.
Yes.
That might take a little bit of time, depending on what Bertrand can find for you. Anything else?
I think that will be all. That's quite enough. Thank you, Bertrand.
Oh, thank the Underduke.
Thanks, Underduke.
When you have a chance to see her.
All right, you can be about your way, Bertrand. Thank you for your kindness.
He walks out of the room. And as the door closes, you just hear.
As soon as the door closes, Azad turns to Gwen and goes, well, if you really want all the cards on the table.
Oh no!
No,
I need
not-
a moment to prepare. And
Nothing dangerous or weird.
no. It's not literally. She's just
Yeah.
before we do. I just and she's just gonna like put on a robe. She's gonna kick off her boots that she somehow miraculously recovered after our fight with our forest man. Hopefully he didn't squash them too very much.
When like reaches in her bag, she pulls out a copy of Mall Madness and sets it up. And
Right. Like, she's going to go over to the liquor cabinet and pour herself a stiff drink. Like, I need to prepare, darling, before we get
Yeah.
to know one another.
There is an array of the good stuff, but also like imported things from fine wines from Porrance, something clear and licorice smelling from Eskia. There's an array.
I want the Eskian thing.
Okay.
What's the
Ooh, I want
this
to that too.
what's the this universe's version of amaretto?
Amaretto. There are some fine kind of fruity liqueurs from the Lucian theocracy.
Yeah, Victor will get a tumbler. That.
A tumbler?
Oh, what's that called? The little.
Yeah, it's a
Oh, a little.
They're called tumbler, yeah.
Okay. I pictured
Like a
tumbler.
yeah. A little guy.
A little shot, little guy. Okay.
While this is happening, Retha also changes in a robe because I was using my shard of creation as
Yeah,
clothes, so
yeah.
I'm also in a fluffy robe, and I have set up in like some open corner a tiny little workshop, for lack of a better word. And while all this is happening, I have my tools, and you see regular tools, and then like I have my tool belt, and then it opens up, and you see tools that none of you would be familiar with at all. And I'm also periodically transforming my shard of creation into random things as I take off my boots and begin working on stuff.
Love it.
Wonderful.
Short time later, you hear, and all of the food items are delivered by a kind of a wary array of servers. It seems like they've gotten some volunteers that just kind of want to looky-loo at this party. And you see just some kind of like the ladies in aprons and cute little outfits, like kind of joyously looking around. Madame.
She's lovely.
and
Ember is immediately greeting them, perhaps begging for a scrap. Just
are we allowed
dog
to,
stuff.
give a little
Please.
something?
She's had quite the day as well.
And one of them just kind of flicks like a little toasted biscuit off with her pinky. Oh, look at that film! Oh, the sweet dear loves a good biscuit. Potted, just dirt free. Your
I'm just warm. I'm too cold, and I just needed something to wrap myself up with. I'm having a hard time regulating body heat right now.
sure.
But he sure does love dirt.
Enjoy. And they kind of leave in like a little train, and then you hear like tittering in the hallway.
Yeah. Once again, are we all ready?
You are left. It doesn't take long.
Oh. Did you actually?
Did you just legit spit take right now?
Mushroom water.
Oh,
No. Put that off there.
That's just a lot of hot wads in there.
Okay.
It's all hot Waz.
all right. Is that cool?
You
That's cool
you
there.
find a little box. And
Okay.
inside you, if you open it, it's wrapped in kind of a brownish, shimmery velvet.
Ooh.
And as you open it, you see 2+2 daggers.
I'm so happy. Well, that is quite fine. And you see, like, there's a hint of it in Azad that you may have not seen. It just looks greedy. Like, that is a very roguish look of, that's nice. Shiny.
The handles are a little thick. These are clearly of dwarven make,
Oh, yeah.
but they're nice.
Oh, yeah.
I think we saw some of that on the train.
Yeah. And then he turns to everybody and he says, here. And he reaches into his old, like he's still in the fluffy robe. So he goes and finds his clothes that he got rid of. And from one of the pouches, pulls out a stack of papers and then drops it on the table. And if you were to look at it, they're news article clippings.
Yeah, can I have it?
Yeah.
In my head, I have it that there's like one really big, beautiful, comfortable chair with an ottoman, and Kirka sort of like arranged herself with her glass of her sparkling Eskian whatever.
There is. There's a sitting area, and the Eskian stuff is like it's got a strong licorice smell, and you would know that if you had a little bit of water to it, it turns white.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably when you're mixing the drinks.
She's doing a
like,
little swirl. Right?
Yeah, Retha like looks up and notices that and just sort of walks over and just puts a little water in there, and then just wordlessly goes back to their table and starts working.
Wonderful, thank you.
Wakes it right up.
Lovely. So then perhaps she can reach and take the pile of papers. What does she see?
You read on those papers first of a man named Samir Zarakar, scion of the Zarakar merchant household. from Samarkanda. And it says, sign of the house missing. No one knows where he is. And then the next paper says, deteriorating body found. Identified as potentially Samir Zarakar. And then an obituary by the Zarakar family. That is an old life of mine. Something that I actually left behind before this.
And she'll pass the papers around.
Yeah. That is not who I am, or actually ever was. I hated my family. I hated what they were. I hated what they represented. And I left. I left the life, and I left that name. And I picked Azad because it meant freedom from it all. To leave it all behind and go take life on my own terms. Things happened. I was young and naive, and I learned very quickly the ways of the world. And was betrayed and put into the dirt. And I thought that that was it. That my life was meaningless, that I couldn't do anything, that I was just going to end it there. That was the end of Azad. But then, how could I explain this? How could I even begin to touch upon what I felt? The warmth, the kindness, the embrace, the hope. And next thing I know, I'm digging my way out of the dirt. As this.
Wait, where was this?
Doesn't matter where.
Yeah, actually.
I mean, yeah, honestly.
And then where you're
Exactly.
buried
You can't just
very
leave
much
that.
matters.
Because, like, we're sort of worried about Gallia, but if that was already, where you're from, then that's...
It raises 1,000
It's a
questions.
very long way from home.
Are more things going to do that?
It was near Montreal.
Okay. Whew.
However, ever since then, all I've felt was kindness and peace and an urge to help, to do more, to do better, to alleviate the pain around me. And it makes me happy. I found purpose. I found a collection of a collective of like minds coming together like a mesh of a million voices constantly assuring. Perhaps that device might give you the full feeling that I feel. You don't have to be a part of the fold, but you need to understand how vastly different whatever that was is to what I am a part of.
Azad, why did you... Are you also a follower of Luciana? Or did you lie about that?
I never lied about it. I was never a part of whatever that abomination is.
No, I know that.
No, not that.
Okay.
Luciana. Whether she exists or not, I never touched upon her divinity. I never wanted to. She's of cleansing, of fire, of burning, of destroying, of a singular mind, or at least her followers are. I'm not one to propose that whatever deity and what their mind is like and how they function, that is beyond me. I just know what I connect to is one of preservation and one of love and one of continuation. You once talked about, and you, just forewarning, this might freak you out. You were talking to her one time about wanting that you can do everything but prevent death. I heard you. Well, we heard you. And I'm saying right now that this perhaps is not the form you wished it to be. But I am after death. And I am alive. I think, I feel, and I'm here to serve.
Well, I hate that I know that. Trust, whether we understand or not.
Indeed.
Not long after this conversation, everything is provided, including some suspicious-looking jars of a liquid unfamiliar to most.
I'm going to take those jars. I'm going to put one in my medical bag. I'm going to hand one to you. I'm going to hand one to you. I'm going to walk by you, not you, ringworm, and I'm going to hand one to you. And then I'm going to go sit back down and just keep drinking.
That's going in the wiki.
Azad
Everyone's
Windworm.
getting a nickname.
I thought it was Mushroom Boy.
It was Stretch.
That still is one of the funniest moments. When BB in the 4 is like, that man with you, you're like, his name is Stretch.
And then I love that the dwarves call Azad Stretch.
So good.
Because to them, you're quite tall.
Yeah. I'm not asking you to believe what I believe. I'm just asking you to accept that it is a part of this world, just like how your crones are, the three sisters, just like how your deity is, just like how your arm functions without your knowing yet. It is what it is. And you can go on this path of discovery as much as you want, but know that you will never know everything. And what you don't know, you cannot pass judgment without actually knowing.
My whole adult life has been driven by compassion. And it's ended because people hate what they don't understand. I wish that people had given me the kindness that I will give you. I need you to be very, very direct with me if I'm going to learn what you are.
I will do whatever I can, best I can, at least from here.
Can we all just turn and look at you now?
What? Oh, don't look at me. You're a wings person.
It's a feature, not a bug.
Same.
I
think what the
I don't have any questions for Kirk. I'm like, yeah, Kirk is just like vibing.
I'm just rad. I don't know what you want from me.
I believe what the doctor was hoping to ask is, I had a reason why I was in Antrio. You had a reason why you were there. You had the one over there hammering away had one. And the doctor was running away from things and ended up being in Antrio now that we have established. And if we are asking for trust, as you have asked of me, and I have divulged everything, I hope that I can ask that of you.
What do you want to know?
I don't even know where to start.
Well, you have to ask me something for me to give you an answer.
Why are you, or were you in Antrio? Especially considering you propose yourself as a Luciana Church member. Unlike me, I never said I was. And yet you are not clearly of the cleansing type, of the ones that wish to not understand and simply burn.
Well, you know I love a good burning.
Indeed. But at least you know what to burn.
Many know of the fall of Luciana. Among my people, there is a tradition. When the wars in heaven became a problem of our plane, and the people of these lands began to suffer, there was one peoples who had long been allies of older powers in the world. And with this, she will look meaningfully at you, and also questioningly at you to see perhaps whether you're going to be able to know anything about what she's about to lay down. The older powers, of course, manifest in many ways. Among these people, we knew them as dragons. Dragons of many colors, of many sizes, of many knowings and powers. And when the wars came to them, the people cried out for aid from the dragons. And the dragons heeded their prayers on the condition that they do good for the generations to come. There were many patrons of many clans, and not all clans received the same blessings. I am of the Order of Good Faith, which follows the Gold Dragons, led by Chrysos, the Father of Fire, King of the Dawn. And with their newcome powers, these people were able to aid Luciana on Earth as she fought and after she fell. The tenets of my order are curiosity, honesty, justice. We seek to know. We believe that all knowledge is worth having. And therefore, we go forth in the world and strive to do good works, understanding that if we do not, we may lose our powers and gifts. We may lose something essential to who we are. And for many hundreds of years, we thrived and grew and did our good works. And then somewhere, we became lost, petty, small. We became enamored of our bureaucracies and our mercantile ways. We do love things that shine. I think you can understand that. And as we faltered, so the Sanctus rose and grew in power, and our squabbles became pettier, and we became a diminished and scattered people. My clan now resides largely within the strongholds of Ard-Kahir, for there the gold still flows, and we can still ingratiate ourselves amongst the higher powers of this land. Some hundreds of years ago, recent past for us, we began to undragon. We look as you see me now, but we stopped being able to do what we do. And so we became somehow more dedicated to holding power in whatever way we could. And the harder we clung to power, the more it slipped through our grasp.
Like sand.
I was assigned as an attaché to the Cresian embassy of Ard-Kahir, a largely ceremonial and provincial position in which I was serving a lord of Luciana, hoping that perhaps if I just did what I was told, I could save myself. And still, as the days wore on, I found myself able to do less. So I abandoned my post and got on a train east, seeking the last of my people in Ard-Kahir for guidance. And then I stopped in a small town where there was a druidic presence who perhaps might know where I could find dragons again and seek their aid in restoring who we were. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if there are dragons left. The truth is, none of my people have seen a dragon in 1,000 years, but I don't know what else to do. So, that is why I am here. For now, I will set my quest aside to serve my friends, such as they are. So, does that answer your question?
Honestly, more than I was expecting. I hope, and I can understand maybe to some extent the pain of watching the people you love deteriorate over time. I do.
I saw that happen in a matter of days. When I was 14, a hemorrhagic fever came through my hometown, and my parents and most everyone else that I knew and loved died withering and choking. I can only imagine that feeling spread over decades.
It's a pestilence of the spirit, I fear. And as technology rises, so do we fall. But I am not convinced that we cannot coexist. There must be a knowing. There must be something that I am missing.
As you mentioned coexisting with technology, if you look up toward Retha, who has stopped their work and is like kind of just enamored, I'm sure, you know, they're kind of in the background, you haven't paid attention to them. But you see the mid like placing a little chip of titanium in their mouth and just like, and it's kind of like, and then just.
Kirka will look at you like, that tracks nothing surprising.
But I will say, the world is, from what I have experienced and what I have felt through the network, is long and ever changing. And we are just specks of dust, of spores blowing the wind. And it just, we control what we can in the small little space that we have, but in the larger scheme of things, what happens will happen. And it's better sometimes to find the joy in what we are. I'm not saying you should stop your quest. Perhaps there is a solution out there, and that is your destiny, your end goal will be achieved at. But there's a level of satisfaction in knowing that every step you have taken is eventually the right step.
Do I strike you as someone who's bereft of joy?
No, not at all. At least how you present yourself.
Thank you. And by the way, this whole time, Ember's head has been in her lap, and she's just sort of snoozing a little, and she's just stroking Ember. And that seems to calm and center her. But otherwise, she looks, except for her sort of moments of emotional outbursts, she looks otherwise fairly calm and in herself.
If I can add, to me, Kirka is not a representation of a physical fire that you are able to produce and manifest in the air. To me, from what I saw, Kirka is the fire that is just you. How you present yourself, how you tackle the world, how you rage against and fiercely make yourself known. And that is more important than any physical manifestation of that, if it's for what it's worth. And be you bereft of physical fire, I don't see Kirka of flame ever actually extinguishing.
Thank you, Azad.
That was the first time that I've ever seen athlete's foot make something more comfortable.
Oh, shut up.
So
I will
are you a lich or
contaminate
aren't
you.
you?
I'm not a lich.
So what are you? How does... if this isn't an
The
pertinent-
exposition light shot.
Spotlight turn. God.
I mean, you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but it sounds like you went through something terrible when you were younger, Doctor. How did you survive?
As a matter of fact, it wasn't when I was younger. It was a month ago.
I thought you said you were 14.
When I was 14, my parents died. Do I look 14 to you?
Well,
Not
I
like
don't
You
it's
know.
look
not.
ageless, you know,
Yeah.
in the way
You've
that
got, like-
I'm
liches are.
31.
Right.
How long ago?
Was I 31? Oh, let
How
me
long
check.
have you
It
been
turns out just a
Exactly.
few minutes ago.
All right.
Oh my god, we missed your birthday?
I've been 31 for almost a year.
Okay. Well, continue.
I was one of the finest physicians in all of Upadhyayula. I worked at the Crown Heights Royal Medical Center for almost a decade, practicing medicine, doing research, making great strides in the science of healing. But as I told you, and I guess you heard, modern medicine has its limits. So I started studying magical ways to heal in private, just learning how it is that clerics can just make diseases and wounds just evaporate in the sunlight. I found that that type of magic simply isn't accessible to everyone and simply isn't useful when it matters most. So I looked to other means, and I found necromancy, which I know has quite a bit of stigma behind it, but it's just a tool, the way that a hammer or a saw is a tool. I can either cut a board and build a house, or I can chop someone up and beat them. It's all how you use the tool. And all these liches of legend that use this amazing ability to selfishly extend their own lifespans were missing the incredible point of this beautiful tool. So I studied and I learned, and then eventually one day I found a patient, someone who was well past saving, although they didn't realize it yet. And they agreed to try a radical new treatment method. And I gave that person a little bit of myself. I used my life to pull them away from death, and it worked. It hurt worse than anything I had ever felt, but it worked. And that person walked out of that hospital that day. News of that kind of recovery spread quickly, and people from far and wide came to see me, and most of them required conventional treatments that they were too afraid to seek out before. And some of them needed a little extra help, and I was happy to give that to them. But after a few months, my appearance started to reflect the real nature of my work. And curiosity, and if we're being honest, jealousy, got the better of some of my colleagues, and they started poking around in every report that I ever made, looking for any little discrepancy, any miscalculation to give them some hint of my great secret, until one day the directors of the hospital brought in the city guard and raided my office like I was some drug pusher, and they found everything. My notes, my ideas. People fear what they don't understand, and by the end of the day, they were asking me if I was prepared to raise skeletons in the streets and terrorize the town. And as the sun was setting, the same people who called me a savior and a miracle worker had formed a mob outside to call me a monster and a lich. I had just enough time to grab my medical supplies, my notebooks, the clothes on my back, as they chased me out of town with pitchforks and torches. And so now, here I am, the great Dr. Victor Vindica, from the finest physician in Odvaha to the demon doctor of Crit, offering world-class medical care to the humble denizens of whatever gutter I happen to wake up in.
Just one question, Doctor. Were you prepared to raise skeletons from the streets? Because
God! Do you have any idea what it takes to do that? It's gross. It's gross.
Just asking scientific.
All I do is move a little life from one place to the next. To raise a skeleton is like, it's nasty.
Hey. That hurts.
So you do know how.
Of course I know how. Any idiot can do it. I'm not going to do it.
Please don't. Yes, so long as you're enacting that sort of thing on mushroom people who are trying to kill us, seems all well and good.
I'm tinkering.
You're tinkering. Oh, I'm making tinkering sounds.
Well, is Retha making anything specific that your terrified DM needs to know about?
I'm not making any. I mean, I'm mostly just flavoring what we got when we leveled up. I did just put the GP costs in my request just to kind of keep you on your toes, but you don't actually need it.
You just get it.
Dwarves are very rich. They can do it.
Yeah, so Retha, Retha gets started with what he has in front of him, and then once more stuff continues working, eventually like removing their boots and kind of building a sort of like, you know how when you can get like crampons that attach to the bottom of your shoes for when you're walking in ice?
Funny word, yes.
Yeah.
It's something similar to that. It's like a frame that goes on the bottom of the sole, and takes these diamonds and using like this jewel cutter like into very thin slices and arranges them in a very particular array set in the titanium with like mithril kind of, for lack of a better word, like circuitry to conduct the magical energy, and fixes them to the bottom of their shoes. And that is how I am flavoring my, what is it called? My propulsive augment. So I can Iron Man fly.
Mechanists, y'all.
Mechanist. Thanks, Cobalt Press.
But yeah,
Cobalt Press.
I'm doing that. Also the canisters and things. So while all these conversations are happening, Retha's also doing some maintenance on like a little bit on their arm, which is kind of a weird like biological. We don't have the time to get into the nuances of how it works, what self heals and what needs.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
It all works out.
It's a third thing.
It's a third thing. It's doing
Magic.
that. And also is building a combination flamethrower and fire extinguisher. It's like a dual like thing. They're separate things, but they're right next to each other. Because I think throwing flames would be very cool, but it would also be incredibly irresponsible to do that without a way to extinguish the flames, just in case.
Smart.
So that's what those canisters and things were for.
Cool.
And Victor also now has a new outfit that isn't that, because
What does it look like?
Can it be this without a tie? Because that's what I'm giving you right now.
Yeah, there's no vampire tie. I would say in order to maybe help Victor be a little less vampiric, it is a dark brown instead of black. The material.
Can it be tweed?
I was thinking tweed. I was thinking like reinforced like elbow pads and things. It's the pants themselves.
Super professor.
It's giving way much more professor, and like the pants themselves are more like woolen. It's a lot thicker, so you can travel better without having to worry about it. Because Retha assumes you're not going to buy a second outfit given how long you've just been in this one, so it's going to last a while.
Can we burn the other one? It can't
It
smell
would be
good
very
at this
flammable
point.
at this point. It's soaked in heavy dwarven grain alcohol.
Yeah.
With fire.
If only there was a way we could burn something really quickly
something.
right now.
We don't have to do it right now. Perhaps we can have a ceremony for the close later.
I mean, you
maybe
could do-
not in the Underduke's fine quarters.
You could do what I did and just throw it in lava.
It would be deep and symbolic because like that is his old life, and that's why he's held on to it for so long. He had some money, but like he worked so hard to afford those clothes and to have all, and now it's this painful reminder that he wears all the time. So if it's something that he's throwing in the lava, it would be a whole business that we shouldn't have to act out at this time. Yeah, absolutely.
Perhaps at a later date that might become a poignant moment.
Yeah, it
be
would be
nice.
deep and it would be meaningful and there would be tears shed. As for right now, smash cut to Victor in a nice tweed suit. Not exactly my style, but
I think it's very much your style.
definitely smells better.
Oh, that I can tell.
It's
Yes.
better.
Even before the Retha's outfit, I've decided to make this canon, except the
Yes.
glove is like actually functional because they do need to cover up their Magitech robot arm in the weird religious ethno state.
What about the goggles that you were wearing the other day? Those like cool goggles.
Oh yeah. Oh, I was supposed to be wearing sunglasses this whole time.
Oh,
We'll do it next time.
the sunglasses were here the whole
time.
Use your imagination.
And use your imagination.
Imagination. Yeah, there's cool goggles.
I think the only thing Azad will say at the end is, I'm sorry that you were pushed out, but I'm also glad that you knew what your limits were. And also just, I understand where you're coming from in wanting to help. And once again, there's so much of this world we don't understand. And it is what it is.
Trust, whether we understand or not.
There's one last thing that I don't understand. The wings. What?
What are the
What?
wings?
Where? They suit you. They suit you. They're marvelous. I have to admit, I may have been a beam of moonlight at the time, but when you went over the side, you gave me a bit of a fright.
They were the whole. They were there. They're the whole thing. It was
There's very angels in the outfield.
It's, you just believe, and then you win baseball games. It's Gwen like kind of doesn't know what to say. Like, it's not a very good story.
It is your
My
story.
mother, she was an imperialist, and my father, he was Gallian. And they fell for each other. They loved each other very much. My father was of the old gods. My mother was not. And when they got married, my mother, she learned about the Gallian ways, the old gods. And in particular, she took a shine into Mora. And the way she always tells it is she had a dream where Mora came to her and told her that, she would be blessed and their union would be strong and their marriage a long and happy one. And the smoke's gone away on the television. I don't know if we care about that or not.
oh, flip, dude.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know, right? And so when I was born, I had the eyes, and I don't know, it's kind of shiny in the right light. And so folks started calling me a Sindarian, which is sort of a fancy way of saying I've been blessed. And so every so often, when I need it most, winks. But yeah, it's just sort of a bonus birth effect. You know what I mean? It's not that good of a story. I'm sorry.
The old gods are powerful and mysterious, and if you have been blessed,
Yeah, and that's
good enough for me.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it happening to anyone finer.
She like tips her top hat, which canonically she's been wearing the whole time.
Well, how much longer do you have? Do you need for what you're working on?
Yeah, this can mechanically be done whenever we want it to be.
How convenient.
Yeah, we're all clear on the robot juice that's turning me into a machine. Yeah.
It seems pretty. Yeah.
Put that together.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're kinda
cool, just-
piece
I'm
by
fair at
piece.
this point.
I just wanted to make sure.
We're worried about that. We're not worried about that.
Oh no, we're not really worried. We're more just
You don't seem worried, so we're not worried.
curious. Yeah, no, I don't think I should be worried. I mean, I'm a little like in the abstract sense. Would love to know what's going on, but I'll sort that out when it sorts out. So.
Yeah.
I think then perhaps if we are wanting to rest, we can, but we really need to consider where do we need to go next.
It sounds like we need to go back to
Artist.
Ardith. I almost said Arda, and I was like, that's not right.
No.
Very close.
I think a night's rest would do us some good. It seems that we're well cared for here. If the Underduke will have us, then perhaps we stay a night. And first thing in the morning, however one marks morning down here, we set out for the surface and Ardith.
It's getting late, surface nerds.
Thank you, Bertrand.
Well, what a fine set of heroes we are. The Doctor, the Dragon, the Angel, the Automaton, the Yeast Infection, ready to set out into the world and cure a civilization of a fungal infection.
I only get them for like 1 minute. I cannot stress enough how not useful they are in nearly every single set of circumstances except for like falling off something very high.
Isn't being an angel more of a state of
I
mind?
If
suppose.
you ever want to extend it, and I...
No.
He looks like a corpse.
Yes, he still looks like a corpse.
Yeah.
I can help
Could you
extend
eat
it.
some of that soil or something? Would that help you with this?
I'm not even going to entertain
All
that.
right.
I have an idea. Why don't we all put our hands in the circle and say cutscene, and then maybe it will just magically appear in our
No, that was purely Azad going, screw you.
Yeah, I got that. She'll just sip the last of her shining beverage.
You guys turn in for the evening, or do you leave
Yeah,
now?
yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
Take a bath.
Let's
and
sleep.
Heavily
and-
moisturize.
Yes.
There is an array of lotions provided. There's some gamey, weird dwarven stuff. It might be exactly Retha's flavor, as some of it resembles more motor oil than anything else. But there's also some lovely, like floral things and some little fruity notes and some of it is a female presenting magistrate's estate, and it's lovely.
Best.
So there is a fine array of hair creams and things that female presenting people use that this guy doesn't probably.
You should try it.
The
You should
sweet
try it.
smelling.
They
Yeah,
smell
can I
amazing,
list
and I
out
will
every part
absolutely-
of her 10-step routine?
You
Yeah.
can smell fancy if you
10-step
want
routine.
to.
I have a 1-step routine, and it's get out of bed.
Oh, well, you're making it work.
The man does not bathe.
There's no reason for that.
No.
You have a dermal microflora. Let's go.
You know your integumentary system is your largest organ, and you should take care of it, Jesse.
It's an organ system.
Shut up. Smash cut.
Smash cut. Morning arrives. All of you but Azad got a pretty dang nice night's sleep. Azad, you need to get to the soil soon.
I will literally start waking people.
Should-
Hey, like he takes his mask off, like right here. You see this? If you don't want to keep seeing this, we should spread. We should.
I forgot. I guess I do know how to cast animate pool. What happened?
We should go.
Hello, this is Future Jesse, warning you that this episode went exceedingly long, and so we are going to cut right here. But it's okay; these are all real live people,
Yeah.
and they're happy you're here, and we're happy that Cobalt Press is our sponsor, and we are very thankful for them, and that we are thankful that they have given us the ability to support the Doctors Without Borders. Please follow the link below. Follow the link, like, subscribe, share. That's another way you can spread the message. Forrest Valkai, any other kind words for our friends?
We all have future knowledge, and it's bad. See you next time.
Next time on Roll for Initiative.
As you exit the immense hanging city of Marlstone, you leave behind the din and joy and music and carefree life of a people unburdened by the troubles you seek to rectify. Ardith is a little bit less jocular in her approach. Her demeanor is a little bit more solemn. You see the people of Antrior looking far more hale and hearty than when you arrived.
And at this point, Azad has nothing to hide. He'll say, "Welcome to the fold."
This acts like a hub. You can connect just about anything directly to a mycelial network. But I scrapped it because you're going to lose part of yourself every time you connect. Thank you.
Can you yell without yelling? You're blowing out the mic.
I'm really trying to, I promise. Thank you.
Will the big mic get it?
Oh yeah. Dude.
Yeah, can I just switch to shotgun for that thing?
Yeah. What is the other 12 mics we got in there?
I figure I can adjust in post,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're always at a 10, so you've
It's
taken it up to
hard.
20.
I actually was trying to be quiet.
I believe you.
I
Yeah.
believe it. That was.
I
I
believe
admire.
you.
I was
your-
trying to contain it.
I admire your restraint.
Oh,
Performance, so
I
we got it.
thank you.